Welcome to World Finance Brief. We're tracking a massive developing story in the global markets today, something that has caught the financial world completely by surprise.
This sentiment right here really captures the urgency of the situation perfectly. We're seeing moves in the silver market that are, they're truly historic, and it's all happening at a breathtaking speed.
So, to really get a grip on what's going on, you have to look at the numbers. And honestly, they're pretty staggering.
Get this. Silver just saw its largest single-day gain ever recorded. In just 24 hours, the price shot up nearly 7%, blasting right past $76 an ounce. A move that big, and an asset this important, it's almost unheard of.
Okay, so that was one day. Now let's zoom out and look at the whole year so far. The performance has been absolutely incredible, up a whopping 157%. But here's the real kicker. The pace is actually accelerating.
This surge has launched silver's total market value into the stratosphere. It is now the third most valuable asset on the entire planet, bigger than even tech giants like Apple and Microsoft. Just let that sink in for a moment. And listen, this isn't just big Wall Street money moving around. The public is waking up to this in a huge way. Google searches for how to buy silver just hit a 21-year high. That tells you a massive new wave of investors is pouring in.
So this all leads to the big question, right? What is actually causing this incredible rally? Well, it's not just one thing. It's more like a perfect storm of really powerful forces all converging at once. We can really boil it down to four main factors. And it all starts with something super basic. For 5 years in a row, the world has used more silver than has been mined. It's a fundamental supply problem.
On top of that, you've got major governments making strategic moves. The U.S. has now officially labeled silver a critical mineral. Russia has confirmed it's buying up physical silver for its national stash, and China is making it harder to export. Basically, nations are starting to treat silver like a strategic asset. Okay, so all of those things are obviously huge drivers, but they don't quite explain the sheer urgency, the panic almost, that we're seeing. For that, we need to look at a market signal we haven't seen flash this brightly in over 40 years.
That signal has a fancy name, backwardation. But all it really means is that the market is screaming for physical silver right now. People are willing to pay a massive premium to get their hands on it today, rather than wait a few months. That's a sign of intense, urgent physical demand.
And just to be clear, this is completely backward from how things usually work. Normally, you pay more for something in the future to cover storage costs. Right now, it's the opposite. It's basically the financial equivalent of a bank run on physical metal.
And the final ingredient that's lighting this fire? The big picture stuff. The U.S. Federal Reserve just stopped its policy of tightening the money supply, and it looks like they're pivoting back to looser money. And historically, that's been like rocket fuel for scarce assets like silver. So you put that whole powerful cocktail together, and the obvious question is, where in the world could prices go from here? Some of the predictions out there are truly eye-watering.
First, just for a little bit of perspective, even after this insane run-up to $76, silver is still nowhere near its all-time high when you adjust for inflation. That peak back in 1980, that would be like $199 an ounce in today's money.
Now, if you look at the really long-term price charts, some analysts are pointing to this gigantic pattern that's been forming for decades, and they're saying that if it breaks out, the implied target is somewhere around $400 an ounce. But you don't even have to look that far out. Others are just focused on the wild momentum we have right now. Some traders think a truly parabolic move is coming, suggesting we could hit $200 in just a matter of weeks, maybe even sooner.
But, and this is a big but, with these kinds of wild predictions comes extreme volatility. We're seeing huge record-breaking bets on both sides of this thing. For instance, a fund that's designed to bet against silver saw its biggest inflow ever one day, and then its biggest outflow ever the very next day. It is an absolute battlefield right now.
All of this brings us to what might be the biggest question of all. What does this moment really represent for the financial world and for your money?
And this is the debate that's raging everywhere right now. Are we watching the beginning of a generational wealth transfer, a historic repricing of a critical asset? Or is this just a classic speculative bubble fueled by hype and about to pop spectacularly? You can make really strong arguments for both sides. And so we want to know what you think. Is this a real historic move, or is it all just hype? Let us know your take in the comments.
We are definitely going to be tracking this incredible story as it unfolds. Be sure to subscribe for more from World Finance Brief so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching.